you can control your narrative.
I feel 20. You know when you get old. You get old, sometimes you feel it with like injuries or you ache or whatever. But mentally, I personally, and I've heard this from a lot of people, I haven't grown up at all.
Welcome back. In today's video, as you've seen on the beginning of this video, that Andrew Tate says that people say he never grew up. And I think that is harming to young people because they follow this guy and they think that he's perfect, but he is not. And to put this kind of mindset out there for the young generation is wrong, because we should never be satisfied with where we are. We need to keep on improving, but Andrew Tate is still stuck in the mindset of a 20-year-old. The alpha male content has been harmful to a lot of guys. A lot of people turn against it. But words like this will stunt a person's growth, because sometimes people will think they became perfect and will stop growing. But we should never stop growing like these alpha males. And they only go after more money by scamming other people, less intelligent people who fall for these scams. But what we can do is start to watch videos and read books and ask ourselves, are we happy with where we are? Maybe we can just be okay with ourselves for a bit, but long term, we should just keep on improving ourselves, whether it's spiritual, whether it's physical fitness, whether it's financial, whether it's our character. We can always improve something. When I go through the Bible, I'm always learning a lot more than what I knew before. I went through the Bible maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times in my life, but I'm still learning because it hits a little different every time. Maybe you read a book and you pick out something new that didn't hit you like 5 years ago. But the more you start to grow, the more you start to improve in different ways. So you can change every year and just become better, even if you're doing the same things. I started doing some of the same workouts I did 3 years ago, and my body has changed. So no matter where you are at in life, I'm not just talking physical fitness, but you can always keep on improving yourself. Maybe you were going for the bulky look 10 years ago. Maybe you're older now, so you want an athletic look. But just keep on improving, stay healthy, and be the best version of yourself. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps push out the content. And let me know if you like this kind of personal development kind of content. And you can leave that in the comments. And if you do, you can subscribe. And now let's continue with the video. Okay. Personal development, from my view, is that it's personal. You got to look at your own life. Are you happy with the person you are today? In my own life, I remember when I was 20 years old, I was arrogant. But now, I think I became more humble. But sometimes people will tell you what you really are. Maybe a sibling, maybe a parent. Maybe they like the change in your life, so they'll give you a compliment. Maybe they put you down before because you were too arrogant, like my siblings did. But they were being honest. That was from their opinion. And I liked the person I was back then. But when I became a Christian, I knew I had to change. There had to be a change from the inside. It wasn't going to be physical, but I knew I needed to change. Maybe that's what we need in our lives. A change, and let people tell you what they really think of you. Just as in this clip of people telling Andrew Tate what they really think of him. That he's still the same guy. He hasn't changed. But this is a personal development video, so we need to change. Maybe you're a very selfish person. Maybe what we can do is be a little bit more giving. I'm not always talking finances, but I'm talking maybe time. Maybe you spend more time with your kids, with your girlfriend, your wife, whoever you're with. Maybe spend more time with your siblings. I remember I was a selfish guy, and later in life, I started hanging out with my younger brother more when he was a teenager, and I was in my 20s and my 30s. And I started to hang out with him and seeing him develop into an awesome man, which I respect to this day. And he has some awesome characteristics and is still growing and still working on himself. And he inspires me to keep on bettering, even though I am 40 years old. So here's an activity. Look around, look at your life, and are you happy with the person you are? And now, look around and maybe you can check on other videos and say, who do I want to be in 10 years? What can I do to improve? Are you doing this stuff that you need to do to improve? Maybe save money or whatever it is. Maybe you're just a person who watches videos. But what you can do is start acting today. What I mean is by putting the videos that you watch into actions instead of just watching videos and doing nothing about it. That's what we can do to improve. Do the necessary steps. And I'll make more videos, but this is only an introduction of what I'm going to be speaking about every Friday. So you can like this video if you want, but I'm going to make videos like this and maybe get more in depth with those other videos. This is only an introduction and I'll keep on going, but I'll even give you personal life stories of what people thought of me. And people did think I was arrogant, and that's one thing I needed to change in my own life. So check out the next video. Every Monday, I will still make the alpha male content because those guys are a bunch of clowns or snake salesmen, and they are frauds. But what we want to be on here is honest people. And what we want to be is our best. Maybe you're not at your best right now, but what we can do is keep on improving in every way you can. If you have a bad health, then maybe you can exercise or do the necessary steps, diet. Or if you're broke all the time, what we can do is maybe work on our finances, but there's always something to improve in. If you're like too arrogant, there are things you can do to change that. But don't just settle for the person you are. Always look for something to improve in. Maybe your relationship is bad with someone. Maybe your parents, maybe siblings, maybe your spouse, maybe it's someone at work. But we need to constantly keep on improving. Never be settling for who you are, and never stay there if you're settling, because we can always keep on improving. And that's my mindset. That's my perspective of personal development. And that's what this video is on today, is just my perspective. I think we can always improve and be better and be happier with the person we are developing into. Not the person we are today, but the person we can be. So keep on improving. I hope this video was inspirational, and check out my video next Friday, and stay tuned for the very end of the video because there's going to be a clip of Andrew Tate of how he thinks that it's okay to settle for where you are and stay there for 20 plus years. So everybody, see you in the next video and stay awesome.
But if you're a real G and you actually do what you want, you never really grow up. Your personality at 20 is the same as your personality at 40. Nothing really changes.